Welcome. I want to give you a brief introduction to the first assignment of the research project. When you get to this point, there will be a series of 3 files to download, and then you will be submitting your work and answers to some questions in this assignment here. This first file is basically a summary of the assignment, gives you some information about background. You'll be looking at the goodness of fit of your approximation and so forth. And then down here are the actual instructions for what you will need to be doing. And I'm going to run through some of this. In Canvas, though, there is a quiz where you will be answering some questions. So let's go ahead and just remember you're downloading these 2 files. This is a Python notebook we'll be using, and this is some data. Here in this assignment is where you will be submitting the information. There is a reminder, though, that you need these 3 files, and it's in the form of a quiz. That's the mechanism by which you're going to answer the questions. So in the quote-unquote quiz, there are some questions, and you are just going to enter in answers to each of these questions based on what you saw in the approximation. In this very last question, you're going to be uploading as a single file screenshots of the surfaces that were created. There'll be 3 perspectives, and so you'll upload the screenshots of the 3 perspectives for both the plane, and you're going to create a quadratic surface. You're going to submit that as a single PDF file and then submit the quiz. So let's go ahead and look back and see what this process is going to look like. So in the assignment, it says to go to Colab.new. That's going to take you to the Colab Python interface for Google, and that's where we'll be doing our work. So I'm going to click on that. And this is what's going to look like initially before you upload the file that you downloaded. Just a quick reference, if you want to know where the file is located, you can locate it in Drive. What will happen is Google Drive will create a Colab folder for you. So in my Drive, I now have a folder for Colab notebooks. So once I have Colab open, I'm going to open a notebook. The notebook will likely be down in your downloads, so I'm going to browse in my downloads, and there's my notebook that I want to open. So I'm going to open that. And what will happen is 5 different cells of code will open up. And you're going to go through and execute each one of these. At the top, it tells you in a comment the purpose of that cell or that section of code. This first section is for you to upload your data. It's in a Excel file in CSV format. So for each cell, you're going to hit this little play button. It runs the code. And so momentarily, this is going to ask me to upload the file. So I'm going to choose my file. I'll come in and get the terrain elevation file. And you can see that it has been uploaded. From this point on, you're going to continue to execute each cell, and at the bottom of each cell or each section, you'll see the result of that execution. So when you run this cell or this segment of the code, it will create a plane and a quadratic surface that's fitted to the data that we gave it in number 1. And that information will be displayed down here. It will give you the information that we need for the RMSE and the R-squared. When you run this third cell, it's going to give you 3 views of that plane along with the data in a scatter plot. And this fourth segment is going to give you 3 different views of the quadratic that is been fitted to the data. You're going to take that information and you're going to then go into this assignment in Canvas, the quiz, and start answering your questions. You can take note of the questions here. They're basically the same as what is in Canvas. I hope you find this helpful, and if you have any questions, please let me know.